Here is the right way to make a sequence in Premiere Pro. So if you're new to Premiere Pro, when you open it up, this is what it's going to look like. And I am in the editing workspace. You can change between different workspaces up here. Editing is the main one. So most people, when they're new to this, will just look at it and go, oh, look, import media to start. Drop media here to create a sequence. Cool. And they'll go right ahead and do that. That is the wrong way to do it. And here, let me tell you why. I'm going to go ahead and do what Premiere says. Import media to start. So the best way to do that is either right click and say import, or go up to file and say import. And I've got these pictures. I'm going to Control A to select them all. Wow, I'm ready to go. So I want to make an Instagram video. I want to start with this guy. So I'm going to pick it up and drag it over here like it says. Boom. Wonderful. Now I'm just going to start editing. La da 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 da. Double click. Oh, that looks good. I'm going to start editing. Oh, this is great. And let's say we spend quite a while on this, making it good. And then we go to export it for Instagram. So let's actually see what happened when we drug it over there. You'll notice that it named this sequence Business People with Thumbs Up, which is just a Creative Commons pic I got off the internet. Where is this sequence? Where does it exist in our bin? Let me make the bin a little bit bigger. And you'll see if you're looking at it in icon view, you'll see that all of these show that they are media, except for this one right here. It looks a little bit different. When you hover over it, it says it's a sequence. If we look at this in list view, we can see this one is a sequence. The rest of them are JPEGs. Because it names this, it looks the same as everything else when you're looking at it in icon view. First thing I would do is always name your sequences something with the word sequence in it. So I'm going to say, this is the wrong sequence. And if we hover over that, it's going to tell us this sequence is 615 pixels by 615 pixels. Okay, the problem with that is you have just made a sequence that is the size of the media that you had. That is not a size that anybody would use. So here are the common broadcast settings. I don't see 615 by 615 in there at all. If we were to put this on a standard 4K television, it would be little inside of it. So it's not going to work for that. How about social media? Do you see any of these that say 615 by 615? This is the problem with doing it the way that Adobe says, because if you're new, you don't understand all of this. So if you were to go and export this, it would not look right for Instagram or anything really. So this is the wrong way. Let's talk about the right way to make a sequence. Well, there's a couple of ways to do this. You can click right here on the new item button and say new sequence, or you can go to File, New Sequence. And it's going to bring up all of these main settings. A lot of these we just looked at, like HD and HDV and 4K. Just go right here to Settings. We're going to make a custom one. And we're just going to go to the top and say Custom. Now, depending on where you are, is going to be the frames per second. But most things should be fine with 30 or 60 frames per second, especially in America. So 30 frames per second. I am going to put it on no fields progressive scan because things on the internet are progressive scan and most broadcasts can also take progressive scan. And then if I want to make this for Instagram, I'm just going to go ahead and put in what we just saw, which was 1080 by 1080. Let's look at that again. 1080 by 1080. So if we know we want this to go to Instagram, let's go ahead and make that 1080 by 1080. Square is fine. Progressive scan. Notice it's 1080 by 1080. At this point, you could save this preset so you don't have to do it again. We're going to name this sequence Right Way. And we have a new sequence now. If I hover over it, you can see it is 1080 by 1080. Now when I start dragging things in, I know that it's going to turn out for Instagram. Now, some of these things are the wrong aspect ratio. You see that they're a little too small or a little too wide. You can fix all of that in Effect Control by making them a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. But we know that our overall sequence is the right size. So let's say we've worked on this for a while and put some music to it and put some graphics and it looks great. When we export it, we know it's going to be right for where we want it to output to, which in this case is Instagram. So if we're on our Right Way sequence and we say File, Export Media, we can check to see if this works. You can choose whatever codec you want. I use H.264. And just match the source, which we already have, and notice that it is 1080 by 1080, and this is the way it is going to look on Instagram. It is the right size. All of them are the same. That is how you should make a correct sequence so that you don't have big black bars on the side or the edges. Now, once you know what you're doing, you can absolutely pick it up and drag it there. If you know that you have HD footage and you want to export in HD, fine, pick it up, drag it over there, make a sequence all you want. But this is the best way if you know that you want to do a specific output. Now, if you know you have a piece of video that is the correct size, here we have a commercial that was made, and if I hover over it, I can see that it is 1280 by 720, which is HDV. I can absolutely pull that over and just make a sequence from it. Now, at this point, that's gone, so I could just right-click and say, New Sequence from Clip. And it has made us a new sequence. I'm going to call this Commercial Sequence. And when I hover over the commercial sequence, you can see it's 1280 by 720. So once you understand all of this, feel free to just drag it straight over and make a sequence from a clip. But until you understand that, always make sure that your sequences are what you think they are. That's it.